G'day folks, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We are back in the Wraithwin Morgue. After having explored the area surrounding the House of Healing and checking out the various tombstones in the area, you know, reading a little bit about the former denizens of Wraithwin. And yeah, very interesting community. We have a few denizens of Wraithwin right here, right now, which have returned as zombies, which we're going to need to deal with. Just taking a look, though, at the amount of enemies we have. I'm not entirely sure if there's more over here. This is a greater zombie, which we've not really seen before. I'm not even sure if we've seen normal zombies, but anyway, I'm thinking I should have perhaps used spike growth at the very beginning of our, you know, our combat sort of round, but instead I've opted to kill the first zombie over here, which I guess that's still alright, but, you know, probably not the best option. I'm thinking of hopefully pulling ourselves back this way and just getting the zombies to come to us. So it's likely that the very first round we might, you know, not be taking too many actions. Let me just take a look. So Gale can already go next. I might actually pop haste onto blue at this point, just so that he's going to be able to take a few more actions, hopefully.
These days.
And yeah, that gives us the ability to now do more spike growth, and I do like that idea. So what I might do is we'll pull blue back a little bit. How did I get poisoned there? What? Okay, there's a poison cloud in here, I suppose, and maybe we were a little bit too close. I just wanted to move blue back a little bit, just so that we can cover off the entire section here, and none of the zombies are going to be able to sort of squeeze through to try and get to us. So there we go. That does mean that we don't have the distance required to hit some of these guys more accurately, but I guess we can take this shot here. Log of the Far Realms, sure. Nice crit. And I think that's all we're going to be able to do. I'm just going to see if I have, like, an antidote. I'm sure I've got an antidote somewhere sitting around. I've got so much stuff. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, we may as well drink this. Remove our poison. I believe that's what's going to remove it. Okay, very good. I don't even know how devastating poison would be in this instance. I'd probably say that we could have tanked the damage, but that's fine. Let's not end our turn just yet. So we've got Astarion. He could probably take a shot from here. Do we have any advantages? No, we don't. Hmm. 6 to 11 damage. Up to 35 damage. I think we should prepare for a sneak attack. So let's do that. Alright, and I don't really think I need to move him, but I will just maybe pull him back slightly. Just in case. You never know what the greater zombie would be able to do, but I assume it's just going to try and close the distance and try to attack us. So let's move on to... Well, Gale has taken his action, so we could probably move Gale back. And...
Ready.
Shadowheart. So in this instance, I'm really not sure what would be good. Could possibly just do Guiding Bolt. Or I could pop Spirit Guardians on right now and just block off the entrance as well. I feel like a lot of these normal zombies are probably going to die just by going through the spike growth. Yeah, I think I'll do just that extra damage. Nice. So it might be low enough to perhaps die, but you never know. And Shadowheart, I'm gonna keep her sort of blocking the entranceway here. And I could probably also do a spiritual weapon. Let me just take a look here. They don't seem to have any resistances against slashing or bludgeoning or anything like that, so... And we've got Radiating Orb here, which should be giving us quite a lot of benefits. Alright, let's do a greatsword, maybe. And I think I'll end Shadowheart's turn there. Blue's turn as well.
Let's turn someone inside out. Allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah, I think we'll end all of our turns. And Quoth... I think we'll just get Quoth out of battle. Very nice. Yeah, so the greater zombie's probably going to be able to close the distance, although it did seem to just stop shy of where the spike growth starts, so it could just stay there with any luck. This greater zombie's probably just going to die in the next turn as well. So Ursa not really going to be able to do too much. So let's just leave Ursa there. Finish that guy off. Be able to move further. And yeah, again, perhaps it can act as a bit of fodder. Okay. Blue. We may as well brace. So I'm not even gonna bother with these smaller zombies because they'll likely just die in the next round. I will try to take a few shots against the greater zombie back here. Nice. Can we finish it off, even? Very good. Okay. Let's end our turn. Actually, I could probably pull blue back a little bit more.
Let's spill some blood. This way.
Can I reach this guy here? Yes, I can. Alright. Might even get the kill. Not quite. Thanks to Undead Fortitude. That's alright. We'll walk through the spikes and die. You would hope.
Creator. Destroyer.
What do we want to do here?
It shall be done.
We even worry about, like, using Magic Missile and consuming a spell slot. You'd have to move forward a little bit, which is obviously not good. Are these guys susceptible to acid or poison? Poison, but not acid. Could do something like that. Or actually, maybe I'll just take this. Guarantee that none of our frontline guys are going to take any damage, I don't think. These guys may still need to dash. I'm just not entirely sure if the greater zombie is going to try and, you know, go through the spikes.
Let's finish this.
And Shadowheart. I mean, I really don't know what we should do with her. I don't think she has anything that would give us any form of resource if she used dash. Is it a waste if I just not take an action whatsoever? There. I did something, at least. Let's bring that back out, because I'm concerned about not having it on. Yeah, let's just end our turn. Yeah, he's stuck there. Very interesting that there are some enemies smart enough not to go through the spikes, but then they'll just, like, hang around there.
Still on my feet.
Perhaps maybe there are some enemies that would pose a little bit more of a challenge at higher difficulty. And perhaps maybe they might know a way to get around spikes or to strategize around it. Outside of normal range. We can fix that. Nice crits. Can we get Cull the Weak? Yes, we can. Very good. Let's remove the spikes. Now, the problem is this area itself is completely covered in this poison cloud. So I'm not entirely sure how to traverse. And we need the entire party as well, right? Let me do a quick save. And I'm just sort of looking for any kind of switch that might switch off the vents. Or if I could just disarm the vents. I'm not sure if that's an option. We may be forced to go through the poison cloud, or, well, I did use Firebolt in our battle just before. And that didn't seem to ignite any of the poison clouds. Didn't make it explode or anything. Not sure if there's a door there or what's going on. Or are we just gonna have to tank all of this damage? We've still got a couple of short rests to use. Did we miss anything out here? I don't think we did. And there was just a button to get into that room. Don't we have some equipment that would give us resistance to poison? I might need to review all of that. Or perhaps maybe I'm thinking of acid resistance or something like that. Let me have a look at our equipment. Oop, I should have grouped everyone together.
What to do? Still alive, so that's progress.
It's very unlikely that I've got a piece of equipment on one of my guys that would protect us from poison. So I'm just gonna see if we've got anything sitting in here that would help us. I get the feeling it would be a pair of boots, but... Poisoner's Robe. Okay, so this one just deals additional poison damage, but doesn't give us the resistance. Psionic Ward. I'm getting sidetracked with actually looking at the benefits of everything, which I want to try and avoid doing because I'm just looking for something that'll give us poison resistance. Maybe a ring? Could there be a ring that does that for us? Yeah. It might be this that I was sort of thinking about, resistant to acid damage. Not quite what we need. Okay, do we have any potions or anything like that that would give us a resistance to poison? Focus. Poison resistance. Okay. So maybe this is what we need to be using. God, this is gonna be a bit tricky, isn't it? Let me go back out there. So the problem is the fact that there's still the Shadow Curse to deal with.
Press ahead.
And if I only use resistance on one person...
Lovely day this. For
Bring
now.
Gale back here.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. One day I'll catch a break.
Whoops. I mean, we could just tank everything, but I think I will use poison resist. Let's just drink that. Okay, so the Shadow Curse is still gonna be a problem though.
What's next, I wonder?
And these things have stayed interesting.
So I think I did see... Ah, there's a lever over there. Okay. Maybe that's going to switch things off. I was gonna say there are these vents. I wonder if it's just the one vent over here that we need to disarm, or... Okay, there's another one there. I don't see any that's close by. But I'll tell you what we could do is...
Never wanted the easy path.
We'll go back to camp and... Actually, I might not even need to go back to camp. Someone was saying that I should be using the moon lantern in... Oh! Hang on. Yeah, in that slot there. So, but I did try to do that earlier on with Shadowheart, didn't I? Like... But if I switch blue to use a... Okay. Yeah, that could still work. I should have done that way earlier. Anyway, what I was about to say is perhaps maybe I can just send all of my guys back to the camp, and I can just do this on my own.
You know, I've been catching myself smiling. I'll see you at camp then.
Okay, so she just doesn't immediately disappear, she just hangs around here.
How can I help?
That's interesting.
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it.
Perhaps we'll travel again later.
I'll be in the camp then, idling away the hours.
Okay, it just disappears. But then, why is Shadowheart still here? She seems stuck, though. Maybe a little bit of a bug.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Are you really going to trust that devil to keep his word if we kill this Orthon?
I'd trust a devil over a vampire any day. I think he likes us.
Devils will take anything they can get, and more besides.
Fret not. My soul is quite safe. I am not about to swap one master for another. Even though he's using me, I'm using him too. And what do I care about this Orthon's life?
I can't believe you hid those scars from me.
You never asked me to take my shirt off. I always thought they were a sign of my humiliation. I never realized there might be more to them. But Raphael told us he can make the impossible come true. I have to try my luck.
You don't need to bear burdens like this alone.
Thank you. Honestly, though, I was just trying not to think about them. But there's a lead now.
I need you to stay at the camp for a while.
Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. Well, you know where to find me.
Okay, and everyone else is sort of staying here, which is good. Let's try our best, I suppose. On our own. I mean, now that we've got the poison resist, we should be able to get around with no trouble. But if more enemies appear, that's going to be problematic for us. Oh, oh, what are you... No! What is Shadowheart doing? Why can't I... Are you kidding me? Right now?
Strange. The dust on the leftmost door has been wiped clean.
She's just, what the hell is going on? Let me... Where is Shadowheart? Yeah, she's here. Okay. I don't get what's going on. Oh, Lord. Please. And then our summons as well, of course. I hope Shadowheart's not, like, still hanging out over here. Man, that was kind of annoying. I'm not entirely sure why Shadowheart decided to stick around and not go back to the camp that time.
Over and through.
Anyway, we're going to either, well, pull the lever and stop the gas, or do I just disarm all of these vents?
I'm not getting through this way. I'm not getting through this way.
All right. Oh yes, that's right. Ursa is also yeah, well, she's dead now because of the Shadow Curse. Forgot about that completely. I think I managed to clear a small patch there, but there are definitely still some sections here which are covered in poison gas, and I guess we can't really do anything about it. Or maybe we can. Hang on. Did that clear everything? Possibly. Alright. Goodness me, that was a bit of an ordeal, wasn't it?
What's hiding here?
I'll get the rest of the party to join, though. Okay, so let's grab Shadowheart again.
Closer.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need? All right.
Go ahead. I'm listening. With...
Well, hello. What can I do for you? Lead.
Okay, unfortunately, Querith is out, but we can get Ursa back. And let's just do Long Strider there. Okay, so there's no way through here. I guess we could lockpick the door. There's a room over here which... Poison cloud? What are we talking about? I cleared all of the poison though. Maybe trying to clear all of the poison and the traps is a little bit pointless. Maybe we should have just, like, gone through and not hesitated.
What now? Some repartee.
Yeah, there's a little bit of poison still, despite us having removed most of the vents. It's just lingering.
home will ever believe this.
I still feel like perhaps maybe I need to be giving the lantern to Shadowheart. See, why doesn't that work? Don't get it. Okay. There we go.
Wits and blades always shine.
I guess I can't. Sorry guys, I'm really fumbling around here.
I've got a long road ahead.
Bloody hell. I just leave it with blue. Yeah, I guess I couldn't have, like, re-equipped all of our guys because of the fact that, we ran out of resources during turn-based mode. Just want to explore this place in peace. Lab spare key. Okay. A mythical creature depicted in full flight has been delicately carved into this ring. Olim's Journal. Day 2 of Darkness. I stood calm as Catterick uttered his final curse and then withered. As my fellow harpers dragged his putrid corpse from the battlefield, I allowed myself to feel relief, even solace. A wrong had been righted, an evil thwarted. Victory had come, but I had yet to know its truest cost. The darkness shrouded the land like a vast cloak. It began as a chill, as if the claw of winter had gripped us. Within hours, every breath was a dagger piercing my throat. I hungered for air like a wolf hungers for meat, yet I could still get my fill, thanks to my armor. Would that the men and women of Wraithwin had been so well equipped. One by one they fell, only to rise as shadows of themselves, intent on extinguishing all light and all life. The shadows hang less heavy in this place. It still takes some effort to fill my lungs, but better to expend effort than to unite with darkness. My traps should keep me safe, or at least safe enough. Day 5 of Darkness. The shadows ebb and wane. A torch flame is sometimes enough to burn them away, but no light can dispel the deepest of them. I called my familiar Corvin to my side, but he could scarcely take wing. Tomorrow I search, and not just for food and drink. I might find a scroll or an artifact or an arcane focus that can ward off this curse. Perhaps I might even find another survivor. Day 18 of Darkness. Its particular loneliness in these shadows Corvin shows great affection when I call him, even as he suffers. Those few minutes are at least some comfort for both of us. It is remarkably still in here, and even stiller out there. I have found a few scrolls and books near the House of Healing, as well as some scattered artifacts, but they hold nothing for me. The only answers call out from within the house itself, where I dare not enter. I hear the moans of the anguished, the shouts of the cruel. There are those who make their home in the shadows, but I am no less alone for them. Day 26 of darkness. I called on Corvin yet again, but I cannot bear his torment, nor can I bear my own. Grey has turned almost to black, and the air might as well be molasses or tar. So hard as it is to choke down, all beings should walk free of fear, I was taught. Oh, if only were I granted such a fine fate. I guess, he's trying to survive the curse as it happened, I guess. But we sort of learned something about Ketheric, and apparently he died and they were dragging his corpse in here at some point. Yeah, that's right. I do need to come back to Arabella. Okay. Anything else in here?
Seems simple enough.
Research notes. Spell. Remove Shadow Curse. Possible. Variant on Remove Curse or Dispel Magic or other. Recitation. Umbra Resuscits. Ineffective. Nox Exitus. Ineffective. Nox Fit Lux. Potential. Nox Finio. Potential. Vita in Umbra. Ineffective. Vita Cava. Unintended consequences. Living Armor. Gesture. A number of spellcasting gestures are traced beneath. I wonder if there's like an entire sort of language dedicated to all of the magic spells within, you know, the D&D sort of lexicon. I don't know if it's D&D or if it's like just purely Baldur's Gate. Perhaps maybe it's like Elvish or one of the species' like languages, maybe.
Wonder what's past this.
Bided time. Time thoroughly bided. The wearer gains arcane charge whenever they are hit by a melee attack. Interesting. But we're keeping Gale out of danger as much as possible, so I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose it could be good if you were, you know, building him as some kind of a melee wizard.
What's in here?
Sounds counterintuitive. I suppose there might be some builds like that, you know. Okay, we're going to have to go through a few checks here. That's fine. Ah, yeah, okay, I've gone too far. I'm gonna have to baby people. Come on, folks.
I'm ready. I'll take this way.
Christ.
Let's move. Wonder if the gods are watching me. haste. Always at your side.
Yeah, this is probably why I preferred having Shadowheart carry the lantern, because she was sort of like in the middle of the party. Come on, folks, let's go. I have to just like move little by little. I may actually give Shadowheart the lantern again at some point, but for the moment, let's press on. I think we do have the key, right? What on earth is happening here? Carabassen's poison.
Bet that will fit in my pack.
Everyone's failed a check. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be for. I could bring a whole bunch of other characters here just to redo checks. Perhaps maybe it has something to do with this. There seems to be a lever.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I mean, that's quite obviously a lever, right? Like, can I attack it? I guess not. Let's have a read of some of these notes. Tissue and organ register. Donor, unidentified gnome. Recovered bladder, left lung. Cause of death, unknown necrosis. Notes, gangrenous skin. Distal extremities missing. Donor, unidentified dwarf. Recovered left hand, both feet, brain, left hemisphere. Cause of death, abdominal hole, arcane origin. Notes, run through by lightning, brain's right hemisphere scorched. Donor, unidentified human. Recovered, skeletal remains only. Cause of death, cremation, arcane origin. Notes, delivered in urn. The list goes on. The final entry includes an extensive note inked in a flowing script. Ketherick promised the finest of specimens, yet Balthazar provides naught but dregs for my research. A spleen here, a finger there, an intact head if I'm lucky. That bloody necromancer has kept the finest cadavers for himself. I will talk to my nephew. Whether he listens is another matter. Okay. So all of this is related to Ketherick some way or another. There's a lot of what I assume to be blood flowing this way, leading me to believe that maybe there's a hidden door back there, or maybe I'm overthinking it. Let's have a read of this. Surgeon's research notes. I discovered all too late that I was making things much harder on myself than necessary. There was no need for such complex chemical experimentation. No foolish me. I ought to have turned to that which has already been perfected by nature. Fortunately, my research led me to the carapace of carrion crawler, which contains a paralytic agent so powerful I must be quite cautious not to breathe it in during the refinement process, lest I fall asleep at my workbench. We're getting a lot of inspiration these few episodes, which I feel is a little wasted now that, you know, we haven't really had the opportunity to use any inspiration recently.
Something good here, I hope.
Is that blood on the shelves. Probably cold and congealed. Oof.
Okay, did not notice all of these skellies being strung up. Very pleasant. So I do recognize that some of them have like chains and stuff. Others just seem to be hovering there. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'll look at everything before perhaps maybe switching out to other companions and trying our luck at the perception check over here. Let's get this opened up.
Come on, open up.
No. Yeah, okay. We need to disarm that first. Bloody hell. Okay, Eversight Ring. The wearer cannot be blinded. Okay. Suppose it's not a bad ring to have, I suppose. I guess it really depends on what rings we are going to be replacing. Whoops, did not mean to do that.
Should mind my step.
Anything else worth looking at? Don't think so.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
So there's all this stuff here. Okay, let's take a look at the register here, or the log, rather. Blood and bodily fluid log. Addendum the first. It is no longer necessary to log names, race or creature type is sufficient. Addendum the second. You will use either the term donor or vessel when describing a source of extraction. Victim is an ugly and inaccurate word. Name redacted. Race half-elf. Occupation farmer. Cause of death extremity amputation. Extraction fluid blood. Notes. Cadaver dumped in canal. Name redacted. Race human. Occupation unknown. Cause of death live extraction. Extraction fluid blood. Lymph spinal fluid. Fluid. Notes. Refused toll payment. Cadaver cremated after extraction. Name unknown. Race ogre. Occupation... nothing in there. Cause of death, fatal wounds to skull and torso. Extraction fluid, blood. Notes. Corpse confiscated by Balthazar. The list continues for many pages.
Quite the list of characters, but hardly my taste.
Right, let's try and redo this check. So I'm just gonna bring like all of our different party members here to try and succeed this check. So back to camp we go.
First in my heart.
Greetings. The party's full. You're good.
Well met. Sorry, but
What's on your mind? You know I'm up for it, but your party's a little full.
Okay.
That's curious.
Thank you. Alright, that's all I needed them for. I'm just gonna switch back to the party members that we had before. I know we've got a couple of people ready for a level up as well, so... but... I'm not gonna worry about that right now.
A bit crowded. Don't wonderful.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, nothing would give me greater pleasure. Back in...
Well, hello. Well, obviously I would.
Alright, good. And while we're here, and in safety, I will take the opportunity to just flick this back to Shadowheart. Now, if Shadowheart uses the blood of Lathander, though,
No time to dally.
we're not really going to be using the Moon Lantern while we have these two equipped, right? So I think I'm still going to just leave the Moon Lantern there. It can still be in the torch slot in case she needs to use Herald, but yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna rock it. It's been working for us all this time anyway, so I'll not fix what's not broke, really. That goes there, and we just give you a torch. And we should give you a torch as well.
Is that blood?
And while I'm here,
Never mind.
we may as well move a whole bunch of stuff into storage. Yep. I think we're done. Alright, let's flip this lever and let's see what it does.
On my way.
Nothing, apparently. Or perhaps maybe that's opened the door? I was sort of hoping maybe it might get rid of the poison clouds. Ah, there we go.
A private word would be nice.
Okay, Shadowheart's a little too forward.
No one's stopped me yet.
Come on, guys. Why are they so stuck?
Best get going. Can't give up now.
Man, this place is
Light on my feet.
really frustrating.
Trust no one.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
Okay,
times.
Lord. There's a button over there. I guess maybe it might control the door? Or maybe it doesn't do anything yet. What on earth do we have going on down here?
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Be nice to be able to get that. And I actually wonder if perhaps maybe there's a way through. What's right in front of us? Find Ketheric Thorm's relic, investigate the mausoleum, show the loot to Art, kill Orthon. Okay. I think there's maybe an exit out this way, and so there's another way in here, which should get us to the other side. I think by that time I should hopefully have, like, Lae'zel with me, and we can do the special jump ability that she has to try and reach the chest. And then we can climb down this way. I have no idea what's down there, but... okay. I think we're going to turn around here. Was that everything? I think so. So we should go back, and I think the next thing that we should try and get done first is to actually lift the Shadow Curse. So let's head to the inn.
Here. There's more where that came from.
Standing around is making me antsy. Wish to have a plan first.
But before we continue, I do want to have a chat with Wulbren, if he's still here, and we'll see if he wants his hammer back, actually. That's something that we found after we saved him.
Every moment Ketheric lives is another eye.
Okay. Apparently not. And I don't think we can really interact with him aside from that just, you know, small thing that he says. There's no, like, trading or anything like that. Right, so I think I'm going to end the episode here, and when we come back, we'll wake up Art Kuluk. Obviously, we've seen all of that before, but we haven't gone through the entire lifting of the curse itself with Holson, so we'll actually get that done, and once that's done, we can go back to the House of Healing, or at least the area near the House of Healing, up here, to try and see if we can find this relic. Hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Chuck us that like if you did. Leave some comments. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.